I consider myself a shy kid. I can still vividly remember the times when looking at other people's eye can easily make me tremble. I can still recall the words that almost came out from my mouth but were held before they even made sense. I think if I'm going to count the chances given to me, it will just make me sad. I am more of a listener person, and it took me a long time before I stopped being in denial that I belong in the club of introverted people. Yes, I do enjoy my own company and I find inner peace in it. However, as I grew older, it dawned on me that what I'm dealing with then wasn't just shyness, but lacking confidence. When I was in 5th grade, I accidentally heard my aunt talking with other people. The other person addressed that she observed something in me, that I had an inferiority complex. Of course, as a kid, I didn't mind it at all because I did not even know what was the meaning of inferiority complex. I used to be nervous whenever I'm around with other people. I used to think of their opinion first before mine. I was afraid to be judged and be thought of as an inconsiderate person. Back then, I was in a very vulnerable state wherein I easily back down and break down. I was also desperate that all of my acts and words will be likable by many, to the point of forcing some actions and suppressing my real emotions. Giving an instant nod became my habit. It was so exhausting and draining. Nonetheless, losing confidence is like barely living. Then, when I turned 13, I was put in a position that I believe is not a coincidence but providence, wherein I am required to meet people. It wasn't easy at first because my fear lies within being around with any groups or individuals. And accepting the new environment didn't mean I already overcome being over self-conscious. Those years were just the new start of my lowest points, realizations, and the process of overcoming. When I started engaging in activities with different individuals with diverse characters, views, values, and attitudes, it was honestly exciting and wonderful. It opened new perspectives in life. But then again, as hard as I want to believe, unkind situations are inevitable. As much as I want to deny it, some people will show up throwing flowery words in front, but daggers behind. There are also some people who will make you feel guilty about being who you really are. And sometimes, without them straightforwardly speaking about it, actions and silences already made their way. Some either consciously or unconsciously try to control one's life. I think I still consider myself lucky enough not to experience the cruelest and the most toxic things. But it still saddens me and affects me in ways of putting myself into the shoe of those who experience the rest. And by having the trait of being observant, I notice every little thing. It is so heartbreaking. In hindsight, I learned a lot. My experiences taught me that while other factors contribute to my poor self-confidence, I am still the main responsible. I just learned now to be more open and gentle in accepting the reality of this world. That whatever I do, it will not always meet everybody's expectations. Gaining an understanding of myself makes me not dwell on the bad side of things, especially those I do not have. Instead, I pursued finding the beauty and lessons in everything that surrounds me, I have, and things that happened in the past. One of my high school teachers once told me that it is in the nature of humans to have words in everything. It should be like this or that. You should be like him or her. If you were just like the neighbor or the stranger or your cousin, maybe things would be better. But on top of all, she said that the most important thing is, I did the thing with love, with my truest self. I also gave importance to connecting my mind, body, and soul. I stopped pleasing everybody and begins doing the best that I can do without pressuring myself. My heart is full of joy as I pursue learning some instruments such piano, organ, and guitar. Every note and tune that I hit correctly makes my heart triumph and jump. I also find it amazing to learn new languages. Having time devoting myself to reading books and writing in my diary helps me discover and understand more about the world and, of course, myself. As my eyes hurt looking at the screen while editing videos, I always find comfort during the process, and once I finished a project, all the sweat pouring every time I play badminton and do exercises makes me believe and hold on to the famous adage, no pain, no gain. I am happy that I was able to let go of the thoughts of hesitations. I also had to distance myself from certain people who does not help me grow and did not consider my well-being. I have come to my senses that it is okay, and it does not necessarily mean that it is out of anger or dislike. It is just a way of preserving the good memories and not letting the worst thing happen. Losing confidence is faster than rebuilding it. Alongside with the process, it is very important to be surrounded by people who will lend their ears and take all your stories without judgment, but with fair constructive criticisms that do not come from insecurities. It is also a blessing to have those who will recommend you self-help books. A support system is very important, and I am glad to be able to find and give attention to them before it was too late. The love and respect are overwhelming, and I think it is just what I needed and what you need. You have at least one. I've gone through different things, but now I can bravely look in the mirror while telling myself, you are beautiful and you've got everything that it takes to be enough and a wonderful person. I can genuinely say no and look into the soul of someone through his or her eyes. I just made clear to myself the difference between being disrespectful to being assertive, being boast to being confident. I had to focus on the best alternatives of what is not existing. Whenever I meet new people, the same person who caused me pain and of course, those who bring comfort to me, I just always remind myself to think, decide, speak, and act as truly I am. I had to accept that still, aside from God, I am the only one who can manage my own life, including how I would manage my response to different people and situations. For me, it is better to forgive the excuses and apologies and learn from my own mistakes in the past. Most of the time, losing confidence comes from forcing oneself to be someone else, focusing on what we don't have, paying attention to other people more than ourselves, and wishing to be always agreeable. First, the process would not be very easy. However, this phase in life is normal, and at the end of the day, gaining confidence is freeing and depends on ourselves. And the beautiful thing that it can do is bring inspiration to everyone that surrounds us.